Very, 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 very interesting when it comes to these little charter Daytonas. Let me just wait a second before. Because I gotta, wonder what is going on here with my local dealers charter Daytona, because what was it? I think it was Wednesday I went and I saw a charter Daytona sitting outside of my dealership. I want to say it was like Wednesday morning, because they had like a charger, like an actual charging station on the side of the building. And then next thing I freaking know is that I go back later in the day and I go ask about the charger that I saw sitting outside my dealership, but then it's no longer sitting on the charger. So then I'm going like, okay, what in the world is going on here? Because I'm going like, that car couldn't have been in PDI if it was sitting outside charging on like the side of the dealership. So I'm going like, okay, let me come back the next day, because I asked the guy who tried to find the charger and stuff, that charger Daytona, like, where is the charger? I saw it earlier today, it was charging and stuff, so where's it at? It's like, oh, it's probably back there getting PDI checked. And so then I called back Friday. So I called Friday on the phone, because I told the guy, hey, let me come back tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow, so I'll come back Friday. So here goes Friday. I'm trying to find that same charter Daytona again, the black one that I saw. It was a Scat Pack, but then it's nowhere to be found. I'm like, you guys are still PDI in this car like a day later. Like it's been freaking weird. So I asked them that time too, like, hey, what's going on with this car? Like, oh, it's still getting PDI. And then I go today, Saturday. So it's like 3 days in a row I'm trying to see the charter Daytona for the first time. And again, this car is still getting PDI'd. So I'm going like, yeah, something is definitely not going on here. Something is definitely not going on. Something just seems odd here. Like, why in the world is it taking so long to PDI this one charter Daytona car? And I'm going like, maybe they bricked this charter Daytona, because I was talking to a buddy of mine and he was telling me that these dealers have to follow a certain procedure to get these cars out of ship mode. And if they don't get these charter Daytonas out of ship mode, then they could potentially brick the car. And so that's one thing what happened with this car, that my local dealership bricked this charter Daytona. Because I'm going like, I'm eagerly wanting to actually see one in person, and then I actually want to be able to actually drive it, hear the Froxon chamber results, because I didn't see none of that crap yet, right? I was supposed to go to Roadkill Nights, because I was invited by Dodge to Roadkill Nights last year. Well, not invited by Dodge, but I was supposed to meet up with people there, like Demonology and Matt McClear and all that people at Roadkill Nights. So that'll be my first opportunity to go and see the charter Daytona in person. Then I was supposed to be going to the actual media day that they have all the journalists who, and all these journalists and all these other automotive channels who didn't necessarily give the charter Daytona like a glowing review. And I was supposed to be going during that event. Dodge actually invited me to that, I think back in March of last year, but I didn't get a chance to go then. So I missed out on 2 opportunities to go and actually see a charter Daytona in person. And now, I think it was like maybe Monday or Tuesday night, I was driving and I was sitting at a stop sign, and next thing I know, I see a transport truck and it had a charter Daytona Scat Pack on the actual transport truck, and it was drove right past me. I'm going like, oh man, I guess my local dealership is getting a charter Daytona. I'm going like, that transport truck can only be going to one Dodge dealership. There's only one on this side of town, so it had to be going over there. It couldn't be going on the highway or whatever, because like, I want to say about good 15-20 minutes down the street from me, there's a depot in North Carolina that accepts literally all of the vehicles that come into the state. About 20 minutes from my house. So really any new car, I will literally see it on trucks getting shipped out of here. Like I'll literally see them vehicles. I mean, I literally see everything because they'll really get off on this one stop, get section out on which transport trucks they're gonna get on, get loaded up, and then they'll literally just start pulling out. Right. Sometimes I gotta go around where I live at because there are train tracks all on one side of my neighborhood, and sometimes they be parking all these transport trailers or rail cars all along this one stretch of railroad tracks, and I had to go all the way around when they're loading up all these cars or deloading all these cars. So it's like I would see a chart of the tone. So that's how I knew that my local dealers were getting these cars, because they come off the rails right about 20 minutes from my house. And so when I knew I saw the transport truck going the direction it was going, it had to be going to my local Dodge dealer. And then, like I said, it had to be, I want to say, I think it was Monday night. I seen this, because Tuesday I didn't ask anything about it. And then Wednesday, when I went to go and drop my son off at school, I like, oh look, there goes that black Scat Pack that I saw on a transport truck. So I'm going like, they done had this vehicle for almost a week and it's still stuck in PDI. Like there's like no way it takes a week to PDI this chart of Daytona. So I'm going like, yeah, Wednesday I saw it. Wednesday I asked about it. It wasn't there, or it was in PDI check. Thursday, Thursday I called and it was like, oh, it's not done PDI check. And then Friday I went out there and it wasn't, available. Then I just went today, Saturday, it wasn't available. I'm going like, yeah, I'm pretty sure these guys bricked this chart of Daytona and they're trying to get it fixed before they can actually, tell me that it's available. Because like I said, it just doesn't make sense. It takes that long to PDI a EV. So I'm thinking they bricked this sucker. And I also was chatting with Dodge because I have the Dodge CEO's cell phone number, so I be texting him here and there a lot of times to resolve issues a lot of you guys be having, because like I know people who are getting nowhere when it comes to going through the lower levels of Dodge and stuff. Like people who have problems is like several months in the making, and sometimes I'll just cut through all the red tape and go straight to the top and get the information to the people who can make a definite change. So I was talking to him about an issue with that crap, but then I was asking him as well, what's the status on getting a chart of Daytona review unit? Because I had asked them, I think I asked them like November, December for a review unit, and it would tell me, oh yeah, it should be Q1, we'll have them available again. I'm like, okay, cool. And so then I want to say it was like maybe like a week ago I asked, I think it was last week. I texted Matt and asked him, I'm like, hey, you guys going to have a review unit? He was like, oh, we don't know, when we're going to have any chart of Daytonas available, but we should have some soon. And so I'm going like, something else is odd with that too, right? They had all these chart of Daytonas running around Arizona with all these influencers testing them. And as far as I know, no one else is testing for videos those chart of Daytonas they had out there in Arizona. So where in the world is all those cars at? And I was talking to one of the guys from Mopar Insiders, and he was like, he's been asking Dodge for a couple months for a review unit for a chart of Daytona, and he's basically in the same boat. Like Dodge keep telling him that, there's no units available right now for a review. And I'm going like, that doesn't make any sense. Like you guys had like, I want to say, I remember seeing at least about 4 or 5 at one time in some people's videos. There's like 4 or 5 charter Daytonas that was in Arizona at the Rafford Racing School. So I'm going like, how's there no units available? I'm going like, because I didn't necessarily ask exactly when these guys were doing all these testing and stuff, but there's got to be some charter Daytona units that are just sitting that no one is actually using, that it should be in the press fleet. Because I don't know, I didn't really make a lot of videos about this, but back in March of last year, Dodge let me have a Dodge Hornet for like about good 3-4 weeks that I was testing and reviewing. And that's why I haven't really made any videos talking about the Dodge Hornet, because actually that's a great vehicle. It's like, it makes sense to where it fits in the lineup. The only problem I have with it is just too expensive. That's my problem with the Hornet. I think the Hornet is a decent vehicle, but it's just way too expensive. It's about a good $10,000-$15,000 more expensive than what it was. And then when I live streamed, I want to say that live stream was like what, Wednesday? It was crazy. I went on the dealership and I saw like a Hornet GT and I saw a Hornet RT. So if you know the difference between a GT and an RT, the GT is basically like a small little RT trim that you might find on the Challenger, and the RT trim on a Hornet is basically a hybrid, right? So you got like a little bare bones, lightly optioned Hornet, and you got a hybrid Hornet. Why in the world was the GT Hornet $43,000 with barely any options was $43,000, and then the hybrid that's more powerful, that's faster, got electric range, why was it $44,000? I'm like, I mean, you gotta be kidding me. This sucker, you got a non-hybrid 43 and you got a hybrid for $44,000. I'm like, oh my God, this pricing and stuff is getting out of hand here. It's like they still have not went to the drawing board to fix some of the prices on these vehicles. And my local Dodge dealer, their lot was full. Oh my goodness. Like I've seen so many Wranglers. I've seen so many Hornets sitting out there. I've seen a bunch of Compasses sitting out there. I've seen, oh man, a whole lineup of Ram 1500s. It was like a whole crap load of Ram 1500s out there. I saw a bunch of, I think they had like maybe 6 or 7 like Wagoneers and Grand Wagoneers and stuff. Like their lot is full. Like they only have one brand new Challenger left, and it was like a Challenger 392 TA. And I want to say that car, I can't remember what the price of it was. I remember the sticker on it had like $7,300 off of MSRP, and I want to say I think that car was like about $50-some thousand, whatever. So it might have been somewhere in the maybe low 40s, whatever, for that 392 TA, and they only had like one left. But I didn't see any RHOs. All I saw was like one Rebel. Yeah, they had one Rebel there. And then they had a bunch of other Ram 1500s, but like that lot was just slam packed full of Ram 1500s. And then I saw a crap load of Ram 2500s. They had a lot of those sitting out there too. And only had like a couple of dualies, but those dualies wasn't really a highly option. It was already like, golly, them suckers was like $70,000-$80,000. Whew. But just going back to Charter Daytona, it just, like that car is already expensive as crap, and then I'm trying to actively go and actually see one, actually drive one, so I can actually, you know, give like a honest review of it, because you can kind of see with those reviews when all those suckers came out, what was it, like a month ago, where all the reviewers were, you know, down at Rav Race School, and you saw literally what 20-30 reviews. You can tell the difference between the reviewers who kisses Dodge's butt cheeks and the ones who are just keeping it real. Like, I don't have to say any names, but we can pretty much tell like the reviewers who was like, oh my God, this car is so amazing, yada yada yada, and the other guys who was like going like, hey, this is not exactly a great car. Like I think Rich Rebuilds, when he said in his video, was like spot on. This car is launching in 2024. It has 2019 technology, and it has like 20, what we say, like 2030 pricing. The pricing is too high. It doesn't have, you know, all of the technology you expect from a vehicle of this day and age, and it doesn't do the simple things, right? I think Rich Rebuild, because like I don't know if you guys seen that video that me, Rich Rebuilds, Demonology, TK, OC Motivator, we all did a nice little Zoom call together, and it's on Demonology's channel, where we all talked about it, and they was telling me some of the things that they noticed that's not even in the car. I'm going like one of the biggest glaring issues was the fact that you cannot find superchargers or charger stations in the Charter Daytona. He's like, he couldn't necessarily see like any route planning that will plan your route, so you can make sure you don't run out of juice before you got to charge your Charter Daytona. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Because I mean, I was talking to another influencer, and he was telling me in his Tesla, he can go put in a destination, and depending on his battery pack size and his basically his range on his car, his Tesla will route in charging stations. And if the charging station is like let's say he just not starting his journey, whatever, and his battery pack isn't warmed up, his Tesla will automatically route the route a little bit longer, an extra 5-10 minutes longer. That way it can warm the battery pack up. That way he don't have to sit at the charging station for extra time, right? So it's taking him 5-10 minutes out of the way to turn back around and get to the charging station compared to being able to go straight to that charging station and spend an extra 20-30 minutes there because his battery pack isn't warmed up enough. I'm going like, that's intelligence right there that's built into Tesla's vehicles, which there's no question why Teslas are the #1 EVs. Like, I mean, we just seen the Model Y just got an update to it, and there's a lot more technology and a lot more, impressive materials in the #1 selling vehicle in the world. Like the Model Y sells like over 1 million units. I think they said 1.2 million units a year, and it's kind of like crazy how it's like you got a Charter Daytona that's coming. It's more expensive than those cars, and it does not have really any kind of technology that those cars have, and it's in some cases almost double the price, because you can get a cheap Model 3 for like 30-40 grand, and a Charter Daytona is double the price. And the Charter Daytona can't necessarily even beat even base Teslas. So it's like, oh man, I just want to give Dodge a benefit of the doubt. That's why I want to try to actually drive one, see one in person, review one. That way I can like kind of give like a full spectrum of what I really think about the car. Because like I said, you can tell when some people do reviews on cars, how they will be so nice and kind of mislead you on how good something is, and compared to like other people. And so, heck, like I know Rich Rebuilds, he was like, this car is not really on the same level as Tesla. I think Throttle House was like, I think the gasoline version, like, don't buy this car, buy the gasoline version, because the car looks nice, but the performance ain't there. I think Out of Spec was talking about the one pedal performance and other stuff. So it's like honestly, as I said in videos, I think Dodge should have held this car back at least one more year to get stuff, ironed out with this car. I'm gonna make a video because I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and I think if that Banshee comes out in another year, if it doesn't come out hitting on all cylinders, their Charter Daytona is gonna be a huge flop. Like, I mean, I don't think this car would have got a lot of hate if it wasn't for the massive campaign to just get rid of all Hemis, delete the Hellcats and all this other stuff, and replace it with this car. It just doesn't make sense, right? It's like you get rid of Hellcats and Red Eyes that cost around $80,000, and you replace it with a Scat Pack that can't beat really any other cars. Like, really, I mean, if you look at the 0 to 60 in the Scat Pack Charter Daytona with a 0 to 60 about 3.5 seconds, that's literally the exact same 0 to 60 that you might have on a Red Eye or a Demon, whatever, right? So you're literally replacing the car with different propulsion that has the same performance as a current car. So it's like, it just doesn't make that much sense. It's like, to me, they should have held the Charter Daytona off for at least a year. I mean, that's basically what it should have did, because this car was supposed to launch last summer, and now here we go, where only a couple dozen people in January have taken delivery of these cars. And then I was just reading on the freaking Charter Daytona forum, and some people are having problems with this car. I'm going like, oh my goodness, like, it's freaking crazy. And then I just did the video the other day where a buddy of mine leaked to me that the EV cars, when they come and take delivery of those cars, they got a bunch of stuff they got to flash. And then he found inside of the car the tag to where they had to go and manually reflash all the Charter Daytonas in the lots at the plant. And so, and I talked to another buddy of mine, and he was telling me that these cars were launching with recalls already on them, right? There was a recall. Oh, I mean, should I necessarily say this? I don't want to get him in trouble, but let's just say there is some vendors who already had recalls on the Charter Daytona, and that's another reason why the Charter Daytonas are being held up at the plant. I don't want to say exactly which vendors, because I know exactly which ones they are. I don't want to say that until somebody else says that, because I don't want to get him in trouble, because I don't think really too many people know the different vendors who are actually having recalls on these vehicles. But there's a lot of stuff going on with this car. You got recalls from different vendors, you got software updates. And so, like I'm saying, this car should have been held one more year. Like, if it wasn't for Carlos Tavares, and that's another video I got to make talking about Carlos Tavares, because you can see that Carlos Tavares, he had in his contract to where it was basically to the point to where he sabotaged his entire company because he had incentives in his contract to make millions of dollars to push out this EV stuff and to basically meet certain goals, certain metrics. So you can see why this company went downhill so fast if you look at Carlos Tavares' contract. Like, I'm trying to get an actual copy of his contract so I can go through and look through it. But just looking at like the SEC filings, like, this guy definitely had on his mind to get his money rather than make sure this company was doing good in the long run. I mean, some of the things I just found was, for one thing, was about having enough cash flow. So this company got a lot of cash flow by laying off thousands of people, laying off engineers, replacing them with cheaper engineers that are probably like a third of the price, right? Because they were saying that like some engineers that work for Stellantis made between $100,000 and $150,000, and they was replacing them with engineers from Brazil to make $40,000 to $50,000. So that's literally a third of the price. So that's how one way he was basically cutting costs, was to hire cheaper engineers in other locations that didn't necessarily know how to fix these issues with these cars, right? There was one article that I put a video on where it was saying that Stellantis hired some of these Indian engineers, and I don't know if it's Stellantis or another company, but someone had to hire engineers that they fired from like America and like Paris or whatever, because they talking about Paris is another place where engineers and designers cost a lot of money. But they had to go hire those engineers back, send them to India, and teach the Indians how to fix the self-driving systems that they couldn't fix themselves, and then refire them again and let the Indians take over that crap. And then I got pictures from people who work in the production plants sending me pictures of all these Indian engineers all up in the plants running around like chickens with their head cut off, not knowing exactly what to do. But Carlos Tavares fired all these American engineers who had been there for years, who can get stuff done because they've made great products over the last 20, 30 years. But now all of a sudden, with Stellantis' whole mandate to appease Carlos Tavares' contract, now all these guys get laid off. And now they're getting replaced by people who don't necessarily know exactly what to do. And they had to go hire people and send them over to India to go get them to fix certain things they couldn't fix. And so, like, it's just crazy. And I mean, that's just one example, right? Like I tell you, one of the things in his Carlos Tavares' contract was for him to get cash flow. So he fired people who made more money. That's one of the things I seen in an article. One of the articles said that he tried to fire people who had tenure in the company, because if you had tenure, you made more money. So he fired all those people, all those executives and stuff. He played games with the UAW to get them to basically go on this crazy laid off, back on work schedule, so he can pay them less money overall. He went on this nonsense of where he's going to charge more money for cars. That way they can make more money per car, but build less volume of cars. And that was something that they talked about, all the way back in 2021, that they're moving to a software-based company where they're going to build less cars for more money and load the cars full of software, and then do microtransactions to where you got to pay money every month to Stellantis. And that's how they're going to make up their money. So they're going to charge you more, load your car full of hardware, and then pay you, and then you got to pay them to use the hardware already in the car. That's the one thing that pisses me off about the stage kits, because the stage kits is nothing but a scam. The stage kits in the Charter Daytona is a 100% scam, because if you look at the Scat Pack, for example, and I said this in a video too, if you look at the Charger Daytona Scat Pack and you look at the Jeep Wagoneer S, the Charger Daytona Scat Pack is $80-something thousand. The Jeep Wagoneer S is like $72,000. They're literally the exact same vehicle. They got the exact same chassis, the exact same motors, everything in there. One car is only 0.01 seconds slower. The Wagoneer S is only 0.01 seconds slower than the Charger Daytona EV. And the Jeep Wagoneer S has less horsepower, 0.01 seconds slower, and it has no stage kits. 0 stage kits. The Charger Daytona Scat Pack has 2 stage kits already installed. It has 70 more horsepower, but it's only 0.01 seconds faster than the Wagoneer S that's like $12,000 cheaper. The Charger Daytona is a scam. There's really no reason to me, honestly, to buy a Charger Daytona Scat Pack, period. And I said, I need to make a video about this, but I want to go ahead and say it on the live stream, but there really is no point of buying the Charger Daytona Scat Pack. It's a total scam because you can go buy the Jeep Wagoneer S, literally have the exact same 0 to 60, just 0.01 seconds slower. That's like negligible. Like you get a good jump on the person, you're going to beat them in the car, or you're going to be neck and neck, right? You will have 4 doors. The car, I haven't seen one in person either. I should have asked them when they had a Wagoneer S there, but I didn't see one a lot either. So, but honestly, like I said, the Wagoneer S is a way better deal. It's $12,000 cheaper. It's 0.01 seconds slower. It has 0 stage kits, and it keeps up with a Scat Pack. And the Scat Pack has 2 stage kits, 670 horsepower. The Wagoneer S is 600 horsepower, but it's barely faster by 0.1 seconds. Like that just shows you right there that the Scat Pack is a total scam. And then even when Rich Rebuilds did his video, if you go watch his video and he was talking to an engineer, the engineer told him there is literally no difference, 0 difference in software, in hardware between the Charger Daytona RT and the Charger Daytona Scat Pack. They're literally the exact same car, and the only thing that's holding those cars back in terms of horsepower is software. So honestly, I wish I had the money to do this. I wish I had enough money to go buy an RT, a Charger Daytona RT. I wish I had enough money to go buy one of those and then go and see if I can get one of my dealer buddies to go and reflash that car as a Scat Pack, load Scat Pack software on an RT, and see whether or not they'll unlock 670 horsepower. Because that's literally what the guy said in Rich Rebuild's video. And that's something that me and all of us asked, like me, TK, OC Motivator, we all asked that Rich Rebuilds, and he was like, yeah, the engineer was basically telling him there is no difference between an RT and a Scat Pack. You got the same EDMs, same motors, same exact battery pack size. The only thing that is holding the RT back from Scat Pack power is just a software lock. And I'm going like that is ridiculous. Like they can literally just take an RT, unlock the Scat Pack power, drop the Scat Pack period, and just only thing they got to do is just make a RT and an RT Plus package, right? Just make an RT package with the base horsepower, make an RT Plus with the better interior, because I know the seats are different from the RT to the Scat Pack. They can basically just do that crap, save like $20,000 off the cost of the car, and I guarantee you that car would sell a lot better than what it does now. They should literally just take an RT, give it 600 horsepower, and keep it the same exact price, delete the Scat Pack. That way they can put that Scat Pack name on the actual Ice Hurricane Charger and be done with it. Like they literally just tarnish the name of like Scat Pack, because that was one thing Tim Knissen said in a video as well too. He said this on a podcast that the SRT 392 Challengers and Chargers, they were not selling that great. And he was like, they basically just changed the name of the Charger and the Challenger SRT 392, changed it to Scat Pack, and the car sold a lot better. And now here we go, Dodge has put the Scat Pack name on a car that's not even faster than most EVs in its class, in its price range. And now they're going to kill off the name Scat Pack because no one's going to buy this car like that. No one's really going to buy this car. And then I'm trying Like I literally tried for almost 4 days to go see one in person. I guarantee the car freaking bricked. I guarantee that it bricked. Because I mean, I swear I saw that car Monday night on a transport truck. So that dealership had that car Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 5 days that they had that Charger Daytona, and it's a Charger Daytona Scat Pack, and I can't see it. they got it up in the back, and I guarantee they bricked that car. Because like I said, one of my buddies told me that if they don't follow a certain procedure to get that car out of ship mode, they will brick the car. And I know that was one thing that was on CJ on 32's video. He had to wait like a day or two for them to unbrick the car. And I'm reading on the forum, somebody said something about their car done bricked to their house, and they got somebody from Dodge that's coming to unbrick their car at their house. So I mean, these cars is like, oh my goodness, man. Like I can't even go see one. Like I can't even go see one at the dealership. I mean, I'm trying to go see one. I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be objective. I'm trying to be, you know, supportive of this car. But it seems that every turn, it's like what's supposed to be going on here, man? Like, and so I said, I got so many videos to make. I just don't have time to make videos like that a lot of times. Like I need to get videos out. But I did talk to Dodge CEO about the Hurricane Charger Daytona. Or the Hurricane Charger, because the Daytona is almost been the EV name. But he told me that, yeah, they are still on track for the Hurricane Charger to come out by the summertime. Well, not summertime, come out by the fall. I'm going like, what in the, like, I really wanted to, you know, I'm going to ask him whether he want to do like a live stream with me, TK, OC, and Demonology. And maybe Rich Rebuilds. I'm seeing if we get Rich Rebuilds on the live stream too. I want to see if Dodge CEO will come and do a live stream with all of us and kind of talk about this car and, you know, talk about it and the Hurricanes. And like I said, I know why they pushed those EVs first. Because like I said, because I kind of stopped when I talk about this, but Carlos Tavares 100% pushed this down their throats and pushed this over the actual Hurricane cars, because it was in his contract that he had his car launched before 2025. He had in his contract that between 2021 and 2025 that he had to reach certain incentives for bonuses. His contract was up in 2026, but he had to reach certain bonuses by 2025. So he definitely pushed all these EVs hard, and every single one of them failed. Like the Charger Daytona was come out last summer. The Jeep Wagoneer S was come out last fall. The Ram Rev was come out last fall as well. So that's 3 launches that all 3 of them missed because Carlos Tavares tried to push them hard. And then you got the lady, Mamata, I can't remember pronounce her last name, but the lady Mamata who's over like software, she literally resigned like in the summertime. And like I said, word around the campfire, she designed because she knew there was some stuff that was going on that she didn't want to be a part of. So that's what I heard. That's why she resigned like effective immediately compared to like put in her 2 weeks notice. Like she was like, I'm out. I'm done. I don't want no part of this no more. And so it's just freaking crazy, man. Like I'm trying to go see a Charger Daytona. Like I want to go see one because like I said, I personally think the car is ugly. I mean, that is me personally. I think the car is ugly. Like the Hornet, I don't think it's ugly. I think the Hornet is just like, it looks like a rebadged European car. I don't think the Hornet is ugly. I think it's a rebadged European car. The interior is nice and all, but these guys are got to the point where they are thinking that, oh, because we put a nice interior in the car, we're going to charge an extra $5,000-$10,000 on the car and jack the price up. And that's another thing that, you know, I'm worried about. How much is these Hurricane Chargers going to cost? Because I was talking to my buddy of mine, and apparently they're not going to put a Pentastar in these Chargers when they start rolling out. So they're going to put these higher priced Hurricane engines in these Chargers, and they are done for. If they don't make a $30,000 Charger, oh, they are screwed. They are definitely screwed. Because hold on, let me see. How much does a Mustang cost? Okay, so base price on a Mustang, EcoBoost Mustang, is $30,000, and My buddy was telling me that he think the base price on a Hurricane Charger later this year is gonna be around $40,000. I'm going like, oh my God. If they make a $40,000 base Charger, they are done. Dodge is done. They're gonna have a serious problem on their hands. And then he was telling me that he thinks that, word around the campfire is that he thinks that a decently loaded, or maybe a fully loaded Charger with the high output Hurricane is going to cost around $60,000. They're out of their freaking mind. You think someone like Ford is seeing this crap right now, that no one wants to buy a $60-something 500 horsepower Mustang? And so who in the world is going to freaking buy a freaking Charger 500 horsepower of over $60,000 fully loaded? I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if he said fully loaded, but I know he said the V8 high output Hurricane Charger gonna be over $50-something, maybe $60,000. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, man. Like, I'm telling you, man, I think Dodge is in trouble here, guys. Like, oh my goodness, like this pricing stuff is freaking nonsense. And I'm telling you, like, and this is with a Hurricane engine. If people aren't spending $60,000+ for a 500 horsepower V8 Mustang, who's gonna spend $56,000 on an inline six Hurricane Charger? Like, if Dodge don't come out with a V8, they're done. Like, that's why I want to see when I can get Matt to do a live stream with me, TK, OC, and Demonology, because you're gonna have people across a wide spectrum of people who love Dodge with a passion. And me, honestly, I'm on the Dodgers bandwagon. Like it wasn't until the Hellcats came out, then that put Dodge on the map for me. Like, I'm normally like a GM person, but but it just a shame that this company that went from Hellcat everything to EV everything, and they are literally going to be in freaking, like, they lucky Trump won. If Trump didn't win, they would literally be in bankruptcy. I'm telling you, Stellantis would be in bankruptcy if it wasn't for Trump winning the presidency, because now with John Elkin basically bending the knee to Trump, and now they're going to reinvest all this money back in the U.S. and actually start coming out with stuff that the American market wants. That might be the only thing that saves Stellantis, guy, because I'm pretty sure if Stellantis would have went through another year or two, like, I don't think they're going to turn around this year period, because they're already still launching all this nonsense. They're still going to launch they already launched the Wagoner S. Some of them started showing up. Charger Daytonas, they done launched. The Ram Rev still gonna come out sometime this year. The Ram Charger, I think that's one car or one truck that can actually work, but what the price is going to be, because these prices are just insane. It's crazy to think that literally every single vehicle from Stellantis that people want is over $60,000. Literally every car. It's just crazy. A Charger Daytona RT, slow as hell, that's over $60,000. A Charger Daytona Scat Pack, over $60,000. And if they make that high output Hurricane $60,000, they still nope. Like, I'm hoping that Matt puts a Pentastar into a Charger for this year, because if they can come out with a cheap Charger, then that means people are going to be able to basically afford to buy that car and do a Hemi swap on it. Like, I guarantee you either Cal SRT or Wesley Chaplin or somebody, one of those two guys is going to make a Hemi swap Charger when those cars come out. And then I did talk to Daciel too, and he said that the 4-door cars are going to come out sometime this summer. So, like, last time I checked, 4-door cars sell more than 2-door cars. So why did it come out with a 4-door Charger Daytona first? I don't get it. Who in the right mind is buying a huge 2-door EV? I mean, there's a reason why Tesla does not make 2-door cars. literally every single car Tesla makes is 4 doors, and they're all selling better than the competition. And then you have, you guys see that Tesla has been delaying that 2-door Roadster for like what, 5 years, and no one seems to care because the market is screaming for 4-door cars. I mean, that's what a lot of people are buying these cars for. So it's like it's crazy to see how all this nonsense is playing out, and I think Dodge is in trouble, man. Like I think Dodge is in very big trouble. Like, I want to see one of these cars in person. Like I said, I personally think it's ugly. I don't like the style of it. I think that car looks like a prototype of what we're supposed to have gotten. I don't like the nose. The nose does not scream Dodge to me. I don't know some people saying, oh, it's reminiscent of the 68 Charger. I like the 68 Charger front end a lot better than this car, right? It doesn't have that clean 68 Charger look. Like, if that whole front end was a grill, like grill slits all the way through the front, and then that lower half actually had fog lights in it, okay, you got me there. But I just don't like that front end. Let me see. Let me look at it again. Yeah, no. I mean, you got literally. I'm looking at it. I know y'all can probably see behind me. Hold on, let me do this. Oh, I can push this button right here. I mean, you guys can see this right here. Like, I got it on the TV behind me, but I got a little small TV right here. But like, you guys can see them. Like, you literally have those side vents right there. Why aren't they fog lights? No, those side vents are fake. There's no airflow going into there. So I don't even know why those side vents either aren't even there, or maybe they should have been like vents to cool the front brakes. Because this is an 8,000-pound vehicle. You know, you would think that you have some cooling ducts to go to the brakes, to cool the brakes down, right? So that was another thing I was gonna. Hey, you know what? Oh, I wish I would have asked Demonology and Rich Rebuilds, how was the brake fade on that car? It's literally like a 6,000-7,000 pound car with the same brakes on it from a like a Hellcat and stuff. So how's the brake fatigue on there? Because I mean, that's definitely something that you saw on like TRXs and like I would say the Demon got brake. Yeah, the Demon do got some brake fade on there, but I mean, you know that it has brake fade on there because it has smaller brakes. But like I said, I just like. Like I said, I know people like the design of this car. I'm just going like the front end to me, it's just way too plain. I mean, it just like I like everything else about the car I like. I don't like the nose. The nose to me is like the ugliest thing about that car. And to me, if this is an EV, that nose should have been different, because like the nose should have been like this car right here. So now I know Knockout 360 is trolling, going like the Demon one said being recalled is a piece of crap. Nah, I'll watch that one later. Here we go. Slow this down.
Oh, the brand history while looking to the future.
Like that right there should have been what the front end of this car was. Now, I was talking to Tim Knissis about this car like early last year, and he was telling me there was supposed to be more coming about this car, but it never came. So I'm thinking, and I said, I got plenty of videos I need to make, but I think this car right here was one of the things that Carl Tavares burnt Dodge's bridge about. And so like, even with the design of the new, let me zoom in. You know what? I can zoom in right here. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, that car right there, that should have been the front end of this Charter Daytona. That front end right there looks a heck of a lot better than what we got. And so as I'm going, like, I think Dodge was doing some misdirection, because like I had some people tell me that this right here was basically a clay model of the Charter Daytona that they basically just wrapped and put it under the cover. So somebody told me this was a clay model of the Charter Daytona. I'm not so sure that this was a clay model of the Charter Daytona, because even the Hurricane version of this does not look like this, the front end of it, right? That front end right there is basically like an updated version of the current Charger's front end, right? Let me see. Where is a good one?
All right, guys. So
yeah, you can see that right there. But yeah, if you can see that right there, you can see, just looking at these two front ends, that right there is basically like an updated version of this same old school Charger front end. Well, not old school, but regular Charger Hellcat front end, right? I mean, you can literally tell the bumper got the same little dip it has in there. You got the little vent on the side, that's literally about the same. The little curvature on the top of the vent, that's literally about the same. So there was a version of one of these clay model cars that Dodge had that looked very close to the current Charger. It looked very close to it, like even the little swoop. Let's see if I can use my mouse over here. Even like the little swoop right here. This swoop right here is literally the same swoop over here. This swoop right here is the same. This little piece right here is the same. Like this right here is a little bit different version of that version right there. But then this little curve up here at top, that's the same curve there at top. So they had a design that was very close to the current Charger that we had. Well, not the current Charger, but the Charger we had in 2023. They had a design very close to that. Now, like I said, I had somebody tell me that this car right here was one of the designs for the Charger Daytona. But I'm going like, there's no way in the world this was one of the designs for the Charger Daytona. This was another car. And like I said, I talked to Tim Knissis himself, and I sent him this exact same picture, and he told me that there was more to come with this car in February of 2024. He told me more information was going to come about this car in February 2024, and February 2024 came about, and it never happened. And he never really kind of, told me what was the story with this car. And then March came about, and that's when he said to investors in March that Carl Tavares burnt their boats. And then you have a few months after that crap, that's when Tim Knissis leaves. So something tells me that this car right here was another car that Dodge was going to release, because I was talking to Tim Knissis in January, and he was telling me that one of his biggest things he wanted was another car in the lineup that was cheaper than the current cars, that was like more affordable for the people, because he saw back in Premature January 2024 that the pricing in this brand was getting out of hand. He knew the pricing was getting out of hand, and Tim Knissis was like, we need to bring cheaper products back into this brand. He knew that, he literally saying now, just a few weeks ago, that he needs cheaper products into Ram now, which is why he gonna come out with a mid-sized pickup truck. And so this is like I said, he told me, I got text messages, I can show you text messages of me asking him this crap. And he literally, but he told me this part on the phone back when we was talking about the Soldier and the D170, that they wanted to put another cheap car into the lineup. Especially with the Challenger leaving, he wanted a cheaper car back in the lineup. And so something tells me this right here, because I'm not gonna get an official response about what this car is. And like, there's some things that Dodge will tell me, and there's some things they won't tell me, right? And so something tells me that Carl Tavares canceled this car that is very close to looking like the actual Charger. Like the actual current Charger, 2023 Charger. Because like I said, you can look at them side by side. And I did this in the video, like I think like maybe 2 years ago, where I'm showing you guys the lines on these cars are very close together. Like this is definitely like an evolution of the current car. So was this car underneath that cover that technician showed, was this cover either a CUDA or was it a next generation Challenger? Was it a smaller Challenger to fit underneath the Charger? Because that's the one thing that doesn't make sense now too, right? Because now you have a huge Charger 2-door and a huge Charger 4-door. What about a smaller car back down to like Mustang size? What if this car right here underneath this cover was a pony car sized Challenger? Because the Challenger used to fit below the Charger in terms of size. What if Dodge was going to make the Challenger smaller, or a CUDA, make it smaller than the current Charger Daytona, and the regular Charger will come out? What if this car, I'll put it back up here, what if this car was a smaller car that Dodge going to come out with, and then Carl Tavares canceled this car? Like I said, I've had one source tell me that this right here was a Charger underneath the covers, like an actual clay model of the new Charger. But I don't believe that, because it does not match up with the design we got from Dodge. It doesn't match up. Like, and there's no person that could tell me that this little corner of this car looks better than what we got. There's nobody can tell me that. Like, let me move this out the way. Like, there is no way that corner, the corner right here on this Charger Daytona looks better than the corner right here on that car. No one can tell me that. Like, that right there does not look, this right here looks way better than this right here. Oh, let me put it side by side. You know what? Let me go and grab this. Like this right here. There we go. Let me move this. Oh, you know what? Let me grab this. Like, I'm telling you guys, this sucker right here in the red, what we saw during EV Day back in 2021, just that lower corner right there looks way better than the corner we got in the current Charger Daytona. It looks way better. So if something tells me this right here was another car that Tim Kniss was pushing to get developed, because like my buddy told me this was a clay car, but I think they probably lied to him, telling him exactly what kind of clay model this was. But I think this right here was a clay model, either a CUDA or a next generation Challenger. It's supposed to be smaller than the Charger and the Charger Daytona. And Carl Tavares canceled this car. He canceled this car, and it pissed off Tim Kniss. And then within the next month, cause like I said, Tim Kniss told me, I got it in a text message. He told me that more information about this car was supposed to come in February 2024. February 2024 passed, never happened. And then a buddy of mine sent me video clips of the investor meeting with Tim Kniss, and he basically called out Carl Tavares, talking about Carl Tavares burnt Dodge's boat. He's the one that canceled the V8 engines. He wouldn't buy any more missions credits. And so I think that those was part of the reasons why Tim Knissis left, because he was so frustrated and pissed off that all the stuff he's trying to bring out, Cost of Verus wouldn't greenlight. I know Raph Giles, I wouldn't say that Raph Giles was kind of pissed off, but he has said in podcasts and stuff that he was trying so hard for years to get a Generation 6 Viper approved. He wanted to put an automatic transmission in the car, but he couldn't get the packaging and stuff to work. So they didn't want to invest money to put an automatic in the Viper, or even invest money to go green light another Viper. But they green lit a Maserati MC20 for a brand that doesn't sell a lot of cars. It just doesn't make sense. Like this company, just like, this is a prime example of how bad leadership can sink a ship. Like, there was no question that Dodge is one of the best companies in the world when it came to performance and looks of a car. And then within 10 years, or really within 4 years, of Stellantis taking hold of that company, they're literally a laughingstock, because no one is clamoring at dealerships to go buy charter Daytonas. I'm trying to go see one just so I can go see one and actually experience it. And my local dealer bricked theirs, and they can't get it, and they can't get the damn thing to work. Like I'm not stupid enough to think that it takes literally 5 days to PDF or PDI a car. It don't take 5 days to PDI a charger, right? I saw Monday night on the transport truck going to the dealership. So they had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days. They still have not PDI that car. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to go to my other Dodge dealer, because I got one Dodge dealer that's like 10 minutes from my house. I got another Dodge dealer that's 15 minutes from my house. I got another Dodge dealer that's maybe 30 minutes from my house. So I got 3 Dodge dealers I'm gonna try to hit up. Well, I already hit up the one. I already know they bricked their car there. I got my phone number. So I'm gonna try to go to the one that's 15 minutes from my house to go see whether or not their charter Daytona works, and I can go see it and maybe test drive it. If I can't go to there, I'm gonna go to another Dodge dealer that's like 30 minutes away. But beautiful thing about those two, the ones 15 minutes away, 30 minutes away, they're both on the same way in the highway. I go up the highway, 15 minutes, boom, there goes one Dodge dealer. That Dodge dealer don't have a car. I go to the road another 15 minutes, there goes another Dodge dealer. So I won't have to go drive all the way around. Hey, son.
Your mother wants you upstairs.
My mother want me upstairs?
Yeah.
Because she about to leave? You need somebody to watch you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming, son.
She's gonna go gambling.
She going gambling?
Yeah.
She done babysitting?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be up there in a second, son. Touching me!
Dad, as soon as you get up there, everybody, Dad is going to be gone.
I'm coming, kid. Can I say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. You son of a baby. But yeah, my babysitter is about to leave, so I'm gonna go and get off the stream, and I'm gonna definitely make these videos. I got a lot of videos to make, especially about Trump and the UAW. Trump basically saving the UAW jobs. About a 1320 Charger that I was talking to somebody about that may be potentially happening. Son, you gotta look, you gotta look right there. See, look, you look right there, and then that's what I'm saying. Right there on the screen, look over here. So that's why you can see yourself right on the screen, but you gotta look that direction to see to make you look at it. So you can wave at the camera and see yourself right there. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely make a bunch of videos. I need to catch up. I can never get on TK's level of talking for like 5-6 minutes for like 30 videos a day. But I'm gonna get these videos made, and I'm gonna see you guys the next time. So,
Dad, don't forget to say there's a part 2, okay?
Don't forget, there's a part 2.
Yeah.
There's a part 2. There's a part 3. There's a part 4. There's a part 5. Part 6. Part 7. Part 8.
Yeah,
part 9. Part 10.
Yeah,
There's a part 39.
Yeah,
But I'll see you guys later. Huh?
And